Alright, it's 92.3 Inspiration FM, your number one family radio. I wish you warm welcome to another exciting edition of the Premier League Zone. My name is Anthony Ajulu. As always, I'm not alone in the studio, but the brainer is here with me, and of course, Gideon Keshi is here as well. How are you guys doing this morning? Buddy, how are you doing this morning?
The morning started.
Ladies first.
The morning started a bit rough.
Yeah,
but I'm glad to be here. Happy birthday to my G.
Yeah.
Mr. Dominates. And he's already dominating the belly already.
And speaking of happy birthdays as well, happy birthday to Jennifer.
Jennifer!
Jennifer marketing. She's a very special lady. Cool. Very special lady actually. So happy birthday to her.
Oh, because she's in several Let's
move on with the show.
That's cool.
How are you doing, Gideon?
I'm fine, thank you. I walked in late because we're gonna surprise Colade on air, but you know what? I'm good.
Yeah. Normally we do a preview of all the action for this weekend, but of course there are no matches to preview this weekend
because
it's the international break. But don't fret, there's still a lot to talk about as it concerns the international break. But of course, the big news concerning the Premier League these days is the takeover of Newcastle. We'll be talking about that one. That will form the major part of our show today. But first, before we get into all that, let's just talk about the Brazilians and their recent. People will say they're so strong head. I don't understand the stubbornness they are proving these days. Apparently there was a request to release players early. Premier League clubs made a request. Liverpool led that one actually for the Brazilian FA to release their players early so that they can take part in the weekend's next weekend's action actually. And the Brazilians have refused, and other South American countries too have refused. Where is all this South American power coming from, buddy?
See, at some point, what the South Americans do not understand, the players will be the ones to suffer at the end of the day. You understand? And if everyone is trying to reach a resolution, because as much as coronavirus happened and it's still happening, I think everyone is trying to reach a common ground to so the situation benefits everyone. At the end of the day, players will go on international duty, pick up injuries. The club will have to suffer for that.
Yep.
So I think for the Brazilians, I think they seem to be the heady ones in all of this, and they're actually leading the way. Which every other South American countries follow. And let's not forget in the La Liga, the last international break, where Barcelona the La Liga had to postpone the game involving Barcelona and
I think around Sevilla, Barcelona, Athletic Bilbao.
So at the end of the day, stronger no go do am. No go do am because if these clubs say no, we're not releasing our players to avoid them picking up COVID-19, they have every right at the end of the day.
But then there's that rule that says they will not play the next match.
Even FIFA, safe. You get option making these days.
Gideon, for those who don't know, first of all, the issue is that the South American international break has 3 matches.
Yeah.
English clubs are saying let them play the first 2 matches. They should not play the last one. You still have a full squad. And the Brazilians are basically practically qualified.
Best
100% record. Do the Brazilians have a case, or they are just being unreasonable?
First things first, I will start by saying this on a lighter note that I'm sure Manchester United fans will definitely be happy with the news because there are one player who plays for Brazil. They'll be happy if he decides to wait longer. Moving away from that, I feel this whole problem started from the last international break where English teams, especially Liverpool, started to take their stand saying they refused to release some of these players, and the Brazilian FA for one I think seem to have been the most agitated of all the FAs because they knew how many of their key players were refused to be released by the clubs, especially Liverpool. So I'm sure this is more or less like revenge, so to speak. You know what? Because at the end of the day, a lot of these players owe it to their national teams. Whenever you're called for a national duty, the rule states that you're meant to, decide. You're meant to honor it because what better honor is it for a footballer to, represent your national country or your team of origin in any competition, so to speak. And you can understand their agitation because some of these clubs have refused to release some of these players because of the integral roles they play in their individual club side. So I can say, okay, fine, maybe a lot of these FAs are going a little too far, to be honest, but you can understand where they're coming from because the problem all stems from the previous transfer windows where some of these clubs, and I'm mentioning Liverpool explicitly because they refused to release some of their key players.
They had good reason though.
They had good reason, yes, but at the end of the day, these players owe it to their nation first. so to speak.
The nationalism paying their bills.
All right.
Fair enough. That's another argument too. That's another
Like
argument.
they said, these are the guys that will still suffer the brunt of it. Well, I mean,
it just come to
Joe Gomez,
I can understand that.
Joe
I can
Gomez got
understand that.
injured on international duty and missed the entire season.
Fair
Got
enough.
injured on international duty in September last year, missed the entire season. So I mean, come on.
Let's not even forget Rashford too.
There you go.
Who's been out for a while while on international duty.
Anyway, I'm sure this will rage on and on, and we'll see how it goes. I hope the Brazilian FA becomes original. But like what they said, they will continue doing this clap back to each other, because I'm sure the English clubs as well, the next international window, they will decide that nope, you're not going, and then the players will suffer everything. But anyway, that's just by the way. The main topic for today has to be, but feel free to comment on that issue. 0700 923 923 923. That's the number for you to call. 0700 923 923 923. And on WhatsApp, we're 01 73136193. That's 01 73136193. That's where you send the messages to our WhatsApp portal. Let's talk about Newcastle, buddy.
They want to take over the world.
Doings.
For those who don't know, we've been living under a rock for the last 1 week, 2 weeks. Newcastle have been officially taken over by a consortium that is connected to the Saudi government, basically.
Money.
That's oil money of the oil money of the oil money.
Money game, bro.
Apparently, they have a net worth of what, 320 billion.
20 billion. Rough estimate.
That's what their net worth is. And
Pounds.
Pounds.
Yeah.
And that's what, when you compare it with Man City with 32 or something like that.
Exactly.
And when you compare it to PSG as well, they're in their 30s as well. Then you know Newcastle are coming with a lot of money. And then again, they've already said, well, Steve Bruce has already said he's realistic. He knows he won't be keeping his job at the end of the day. So, are we here for the Newcastle revolution? As it were? But
I mean, people like Alan Shearer and other, well, let me say, alumni of the club would definitely be happy. You should have seen the scenes from Newcastle yesterday. Like the fans were static, like they had won something.
and they were carrying the flag of Saudi Arabia up and down.
Because I mean, think about it. It's a lot of money. Apparently, the owners of the club, the new owners, have more money than all EPL teams combined. That's a lot. We saw what Sheikh Mansour did at Manchester City. Now the club has been turned around completely. They're pushing for titles.
Okay.
Season after season after season.
Can we expect? The question is, can we expect something similar? Do Newcastle have the clout now to do a revolution and overhaul the likes of which City did when Sheikh Mansour took over?
Well, it's going to take time. I think it's most likely will be a 10-year project, or maybe 5 years, because at the end of the day, it's got to be built gradually.
Yeah, true.
And you really want to bring in mercenaries, and at the end of the day, the project fails. So it's going to start from just the way City went about it. First, they brought in the sporting director, and those who actually set up how Barcelona were when they actually defeating the whole of Europe. Then along the line, Pep Guardiola was brought in to come start, to come complete and that project, and that is what we're seeing so far from Man City. Does Newcastle have the clout? That's a big question that we're waiting to see the answers in the next few years. Do they have the money? Yes, they do. Can they attract the best players in the world? Success has to come in first before some of these players would, most likely
Want to buy into the idea.
a club like Newcastle. So maybe they would go for those ones whom their careers is almost, dying down, and tell the guys, okay, we just need you guys, to be the bedrock, set the foundation for us, and we'll build from there. But at the moment, it's a whole lot of work because Newcastle is just right there. Maybe if it was a club like Liverpool or United or Chelsea, they begin to see things happen almost immediately.
Newcastle now, we know where they are. We know where they're at right now. The money is coming in. We know the sort of club Newcastle are. The club that maybe battles relegation, just finishes above the relegation zone. Now that the money is coming in, the next manager, we'll talk about the manager that we think might, they might be looking at, because Steve Bruce has said it's going. But the next manager comes in, this season is gone. Let's put this season as a write-off.
Yeah.
What will Newcastle term, given all the money they are likely to spend with their new owners, what will Newcastle term a success next season?
Next season, I would say maybe, at least to be realistic, a top 10 finish. Because
top 10? Really? With all that money?
Hold on. When Man City, were taken over by Sheikh Mansour and the likes, there was a gradual process. Rome wasn't built in a day, like they always say. All these things require a certain degree of progression. It's not going to just happen immediately at the snap of a finger. It's going to take time, but as long as they can build a system that works and something that would last long, not just bring in big names that would just leave after 2-3 seasons, but start having a sort of developmental process, but then while still bringing in new guys, and step by step, if they want to be pragmatic enough, finish in the top 10. Without all that money, they should be able to bring in the technical manpower and astute players or staff to be able to push for that. Finish from next season, finish for a top 10. A top 10 finish by all means is decent. Newcastle haven't finished in top 10 in the past couple of seasons.
I think they finished once under Benitez. Top 10, but they do
in the past couple of seasons.
If they're going to spend all the money they're going to spend, basically, we know the sort of players they're not going to get Mbappe and Haaland all of a sudden, but they're going to get an upgrade in the sort of players they would normally be targeting.
But
top 10,
yeah, the top 10, yeah, very realistic because they have to spend in January.
Okay,
and I do not think, as much as people have predicted, that there will be a knee-jerk reaction. I think they're smart enough to know that, see, this season is already heading towards the middle.
Sure.
Let's take our time. Let's draft. Let's have an idea of what we want to achieve in the next 10 years. So, like Gideon did say, it's going to be a project that they will take a step at a time. And so, top 10, yeah. Most likely,
let's not forget.
Let's make it
exactly. Let's not even forget there's the financial fair play rule. So even though they are bringing in all this money,
financial fair play into the dustbin,
but still on still.
Clubs like City and PSG are finding ways to bypass
it. So because they've had a certain degree of success over the years. A club like Newcastle, all eyes will be on them because they know that they're bringing a lot of money. A lot of clubs would want to ensure that they curtail their spending to a certain amount. So definitely that would mean that they can bring in some players, but they're not going to splash all the funds in the next transfer window. So they will just bring in quickly a couple of players.
Let's not forget, when Real Madrid was so desperate that year, that they brought in all the Galacticos and everything.
2009,
that project never really worked.
It failed woefully, actually. But let's be careful, basically. Let's open up the phone lines and take calls and messages. Let's look at managers now. What sort of manager should Newcastle be looking at? Conte, Zidane, or should they be looking somewhere below, somewhere beneath those guys? Conte, Zidane, Joachim Löw has no job right now.
I think if I was
Joachim Löw,
he has no job.
He has no job right
now. That's a very successful manager. That's even good deal.
If I were to be
a very successful manager,
Newcastle right now, I think I'll consider the Ajax manager.
Exactly.
Because
that's what I was thinking about.
To build from the scratch, and it has a system that's working at Ajax, and I'm very sure is that sort of manager that would let's start it gradually. We don't need all the big names right now, but let's gradually get back to where we used to belong, because some years ago Newcastle were like up there, and all of a sudden they just went down the drain. So it's going to be a gradual process, like I did say. The Conte will just be mercenary. You understand? They will come in, possibly bring in all the big players, win a trophy, jackpot again. And even if Zidane can actually do that job as well, rebuilding.
All right, we'll see how it goes for Newcastle. It's time for you guys to tell us what you feel, how you think Newcastle will do under the new owner. 0700.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more. Leave a comment and like. Thank you.